Welcome to the December 21st, 2018 meeting of Pequannock Township Council. Ms. March.
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends newspaper, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy. 48-hour notice of the change in time of this meeting was distributed to the Suburban Trends, the Trends, and the Record newspaper, posted on the bulletin board, and posted on the website of the Township Hall.
Well, you can tell everybody saw it.
Yeah. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for individuals serving our nation.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Amen. Clerk, will please call the roll.
Mrs. Lawrence Lynch?
Here.
Mr. Hurd?
Here.
Mr. Cole?
Here.
Mr. Phelan?
Yep.
Mayor Winterfield is absent.
Okay, there are no presentations scheduled for the evening. At this time, are there any reports or comments from any volunteers serving our community? Frank?
We have one.
You have one.
Frank Spizzeri, 35 West Franklin Avenue, New Jersey.
Hey, Frank.
Actually,
Hey, what's up?
Vice Chair of the Open Space Committee. First off, I would just like to thank Adam, the committee, and the girls that put the Christmas luncheon together. It was a very nice setup. And talking about that, I'll go into my next little thing. Talking about boards. Now, you people are going to be putting people onto new boards. I would assume there are some new people that are going to be on there. At the table I was at, there were like myself, somebody from environmental, somebody from flood, somebody from Parks and Rec, and we were discussing, things that we were doing in our own little world that we live in. And I was thinking about that, and I suggested to them, and I said, this has been brought up before by either Melissa or Kathy or somebody, that we should have a meeting of all the board people. And I'm talking all the board people, the chairman, the vice chair, and all of the members of the particular boards, have them in one session. Have one spokesman for each board member get up. What are we doing for 2019? Or even what are we doing for the future? And I thought that would be a great idea that now that you guys are going to put the board together, if new people are there, they'll find out what the other people do. And some of the people that have been on the boards will find out what other people do also, because they never show up or in any other meetings. And along with that, if this goes along with Adam, I just thought that there's a lack of communication between people that work in the town and the volunteers. And a prime example of that is the Harrison Avenue. As you know, there was a miscommunication there that we wanted to buy the house and all that baloney. But anyway, I thought, along with the board members and the board people that would be here, we could have like Joe Golden here, Bob Grant, Jennifer, anybody that's involved with anything either in the flood or open space or somebody, all the properties that we have on the highway that we're trying to get easements with. The planning board is a very essential part of that, because when people come in to get building permits or whatever they're going to do in their particular piece of property over there, we may be able to influence them to give us an easement, hopefully. But anyway, I just want to bring that up, and I would hope when you guys get together and you talk about board members and stuff, keep that in mind, that I think we should have one general meeting of everybody, just to let everybody know and everybody be on the same page, that we're all doing the same thing. We're volunteering to help you, but you guys have to also know what we're doing.
I think that's a great suggestion,
and
Frank.
that's
I'm
my-
thinking, I don't know if it's a question for Adam or Dave, but maybe we can pick some date in 2019 to put it on the agenda, even if you have to do it like a special presentation and meet an hour early,
Right,
depending how long it's going to take.
I don't want it on a town meeting,
Right.
because it will turn
No.
into a
Yeah.
4-hour.
Right.
I would say a special meeting would be...
But a special meeting for that, maybe
And it's
carve
really
out an hour.
Adam's call.
Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing from Mr. Spizzeri, I almost see two kind of approaches to this. One, I think there's almost an open house concept, so that everybody can be exposed to everybody, see everybody, learn from everybody. And then there's an operational aspect. And there's some things that some groups may make sense to get together, and others it may not. So I don't want to be over-ambitious and have too many people in one place and accomplish nothing.
Right.
So I almost feel like if we let everybody reorganize, we put together something and have an open house and have everybody have the staff there, so there can be that natural flow like what you
Right.
saw at the senior house. And then from that, maybe if it's open space and recreation, or if it's open space and flood advisory committee, there can be a natural dynamic where some subgroups can be accomplished, and then they can have, some public meetings to discuss mutual topics of interest.
Do you think that'd be best if we just started with all the chairs first, so it's just not absolute chaos?
Because it will be chaos.
Yeah, well, I think we start with the, I like the open house idea. I like an idea, and I think we should invite residents. I think it should be an opportunity for anybody to come out and
Have it
meet
at
the
the
municipal
senior
representatives and officials.
Going along with that, I thought we would, what I would do is tape the thing, so we could even put it on Channel 77, because there's a lot of people out there that don't know what
Yeah,
half of
I
our
get it.
committees do here.
Right.
So if we put it on Channel 77 and we give them some kind of an insight as to, this is what we do, and if you have any information, get to us, or whatever, you know what I mean? It's got to
Well, if we
be,
could limit it to like 10 minutes per group
yeah,
to give
5,
a
10 minutes,
synopsis.
whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Because, how many people would that encompass if you were to just...
Quite a few.
Yeah.
It would become a large group when you include all of the different boards, committees, commissions, advisory committees.
5-minute, overview of...
Maybe 3.
Yeah, it's
Well, you want to give them enough time to explain
No, I know.
what
In
their
jest.
operation is. so.
But I participated in a new resident orientation meeting in past municipalities, and it was similar to that. You had various representatives present to learn what people do and how to get
Right.
different things. But I think maybe something greater for the community would be a nice event.
What did you do at that new residents meeting? Did you tell them like where the quick check and the pizzeria is?
We told them what utilities there were. We told them how to get building permits. We explained to them what the form of government was, who their representatives were, and so I think everybody's experience is similar. 90% of the community has no idea we really exist. They go to work, they go through
box,
their
there you
lives.
go.
Right.
As long as everything works, they're not looking for us.
send the check, the tax
As long as
check.
everything works.
Right. So it's an idea to
That's our job,
promote,
to keep everything working.
keep everything working. But this is an opportunity that maybe we could promote ourselves and explain really what's going
That's
on
what
in
I
this great
thought.
community.
No, yeah, it's a great
I like the
idea,
idea.
because this way people can see what, like you said, what the boards do, and maybe it's a good recruiting tool for down the line.
True, yeah. I mean, I'm willing to tape it.
Okay.
I'll probably get Joe Wells to get up here and talk instead of me. If you
Why
want me,
ruin a
if you
good
want me
thing?
up there, I'll come up. I don't care. But anyway,
Remember, that's on tape.
that's and like I said, I think the town workers, like the DPW that take care of all the Parks and Rec and all of those people, they should have a representative here so that
Meet your DPW guys, meet your,
yeah, because otherwise, like you say, go down there and tell them what you want to do. But if we give them some kind of a heads up that, hey, this is coming down the pike, might not be this year, might be next year, I don't know. But at least they got a heads up. And that's basically it.
Thank you, Frank.
Anybody else in the audience?
No. Next item on the agenda is public comment. The public comment period will be limited to a total of 30 minutes. could be shorter. An additional period of public comment is reserved for later in the meeting. Individuals are requested to limit their questions or comments to 3 minutes. Anyone who wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized. Come to the microphone, provide your name and address for the record.
Would you like me to go out there and do crowd control?
All right, no public comments.
What he said.
Go on to the next agenda. Manager's report. Mr. Brewer.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Quickly, a few things on my written report, and then I have some things to add in addition to that. First, at the last council meeting, there was a question about the Clean Communities Grant and why that hadn't been continued this fall. I spoke with Mr. Corial, the department head who's also the Clean Communities Coordinator. He explained that as a result of a lack of litter, they weren't sponsoring anybody to clean it up, but it was going to come back in 2019.
Because of the garbage cans lack of?
Yes, because of the carry in and carry out.
Adam, quick question on that. So that grant was used when certain volunteer groups, such as like Women's Club and different groups had helped in that
Correct.
process. Okay.
Yes, and then people can sign up, they can reach out.
$300, I think.
And it will return in the spring of
Good.
2019.
Yeah, because somebody asked me about that. They said they'd like to participate.
Yeah. Also, I am pleased to report Chief Brian Spring came back to active duty. He was in the office on Monday the 17th, and we welcomed him back with excitement. So today, this week, he put in a full week. Welcome back, Chief Spring. Great to have him back. Within the agenda later, there's a resolution authorizing the rejection of all bids for the athletic field fence replacement project. The low two bidders were non-responsive due to a lack of providing consent of surety. The bidders that were responsive exceeded our budget. Therefore, we're going to
Rebid.
Adam,
bid again.
could
Yes,
you
sir.
just explain the consent of surety again?
Consent of surety is required to prove that a bidder has the financial backing to secure a performance and maintenance bond.
Got it. Okay, thank
In
you.
other words, they got the cash.
So they
Gotta
just didn't follow the directions.
They didn't comply with the bid
Comply,
specification.
yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
That's why they were non-responsive. The two additional items, or the three additional items, rather, Community Development Block Grant, based upon a review of the budget and a known funding cycle, that was identified that we might be able to get funding for this, so that's why that was added at the last second to the agenda. So hopefully we can secure $16,000 of funding from that process rather than the taxpayers. The patch on Jacksonville Road that was repaired in July is scheduled to be milled and repaved on the 26th of December.
They're still paving there?
It's got to be better than what's there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just surprised they're still paving.
December 26th they're going to?
Correct. The mills are still open. They can still get asphalt. So yes, they are still paving, but it's going to be better than what's there.
And that was the area between like West Parkway and the Boulevard?
No, that's where the water main break was, right by the...
farms.
Right, okay, I got you.
The additional report, there had been previous conversation about the body of water by West Parkway that is filling up and has caused the Bark Park to be closed, to close down the township's firing range. In addition to the incredibly high water table, the vast amount of rain that we've all been experiencing, it was determined that there was chlorine residual. Through additional investigation, we identified that there was chlorine residual, which means that it's being fed by potable water supply somewhere. So it's been traced back now. We believe there is a leak or break in one of the City of Newark's transmission mains. They're 40-plus inch water mains above the hill from the body of water. So the representatives of the City of Newark were out, I believe, today. I haven't had an additional report yet of what they found, but they were up to try to trace it, because obviously if they're losing water, that's a problem for them as well. So not saying that will be the source or the cure for this, but it will hopefully stop something that has been contributing to the water being so high.
And they didn't realize that they were losing water? No, I guess not. How would they realize?
Not to my knowledge.
Well, think about it. It rains so much, their reservoirs are always full, so it doesn't, it's like, hey, no big deal.
You would think through the telemetry system, though, you'd see a fluctuation in pressure, but
Right. So
I don't know.
that could also be the contributing factor you're saying to
I
like the
believe
water
it's-
at the dog park?
I believe it
Right.
could be one
Okay.
of many, yes.
Okay.
Adam, quick question. So back to blacktop paving.
Yes.
So what about the turnpike by the library? That one strip that was used to connect the development, it's still wonky. Are they going to Finish that?
That's a responsibility of the private developer who has a bond with the county, as it's a county road, so we've been working through engineering and county engineering. It's been addressed once already, it will most likely have to be addressed again.
Yeah, because that really hasn't had a chance to settle either, Ryan.
Okay.
You know, usually it takes a year for it to settle, and then we...
It is better than it was.
Yeah.
Yes, we did address it once, it continues to settle, so we've been having ongoing conversations about that with county engineering.
Okay.
Other than happy holidays and Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you very much. That concludes my report.
All right. There are no public hearings scheduled for this evening. Next on the agenda, there are no ordinances scheduled for introduction at this time. Next on the agenda is items for resolution. Ms. Marsh.
For the council's consideration tonight, beginning with Resolution R 2018-221, authorizing release of designated escrow deposits, 222, authorizing release of deposits for construction in a township right-of-way, 223, accepting deed of right-of-way dedication and grant of waterline and utility easement for Kent Place Holdings, LLC, R 2018-224, rejecting all bids for the athletic field fence replacement project, 2018-225, awarding a contracted general code for codification services. 226, approving change order PQ2 for the reconstruction of Mountain Avenue project, increasing the contract with Vector Corporation of Monroe Township, New Jersey by $15,442.14 to a revised contract price of $578,053.14. 2018-227, approving change order NJDOT-1, documenting the increase in the contract with Vector Corporation of Monroe Township, New Jersey, for the reconstruction of Mountain Avenue project by $33,342.14 to a revised contract price of $578,053.14, and approving final payment. 2018-228, confirming assessments for the Mountain Avenue water main extension project. 2018-229, authorizing an application to the Morris County Community Development Block Grant Program. And R 2018-230, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth on the December 20th, 2018 bill list and the December 19th, 2018, 2015, and 2016 FEMA elevation escrow lists.
Okay, are there any comments on the resolution from council? No, I'm good.
I just had one or two. I was going to say, so the one on the community block grant, that's, did that come about because of when the mayor and I had gone to the community block grant, we talked about identifying possibly the windows at the senior house? And
As a component of the budget discussion and ongoing
so
conversation.
that came out of that. That was good. Yeah. No, it's been an interesting process. And then my other thing was just on the line for the Kent.
Mountain Avenue water main extension?
No.
It was for the Kent, yeah. I was just going to say, what is that?
That's the sewers.
Route 23 sewer project.
All right, so that was the one that we had to do for the Kent project. Okay, good. All right, no, that's it.
Any other comments? Is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2018-221 through Resolution 2018-230.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
That's it.
You got the next one. I gotta wait a year.
There are no items for discussion. Next on the agenda are reports and notices. Are there any comments or questions from council?
We're going to have to discuss that one coming up shortly.
Yep.
Next year. I had
Next year.
Right.
Okay, we all know what I'm talking about here, right?
Yeah, I talked to Adam about that today. And that's something we're going to have to address.
Next on the agenda are council reports and announcements. Councilwoman Florence Lynch.
Just a couple of things. The library board met. Nothing new to report there. However, you might have heard that the library does have an initiative of, they put together a subcommittee, not with board members, but a representative from the town, the two librarians from the schools, and representatives from the library. And they have an initiative picking out, it's called One Book, One Community, where they're going to put some programs around that. The committee has met, they're picking out the book they would like to promote. There'll be an adult level as well as student level reading, and then they'll put programs around it. So it would be to, some of them are like self-help books, so, but something they can really get their arms around and put programming around and get parents and students to read the selected book that the committee came up with. So more to come on that. They're just meeting and selecting the book, which will come out in 2019, or probably the first, second week of January. What else? The Economic Development meeting they canceled their December meeting due to the holidays, so their next meeting will be on Wednesday, January 23rd at 7:30. Let's see, what else? And my only other comment, Adam, maybe you can follow up on this. My understanding is there was a list of the dog park repairs and improvements that needed to be addressed. I guess there's some issues over at the dog park with like some fencing and some safety issues. Can you follow up on that and just see? I think Pete Coriel was given some pictures and a list of the items in need of repair, so I just want to make sure that there's nothing outstanding there that's going to be a safety issue or anything.
Sure. No, first I've heard of it. I'll follow up with Mr. Coriel.
After the flooding goes down.
Yeah, after the water goes down. But yeah, it had to do with like, some of the fencing and dogs getting out, or the small dogs getting in with the big dogs, and, that type of thing.
I'll follow with Mr. Coriel and make sure there's no safety issues.
Thank you.
All right, Councilman Hurd.
I only have a few quick things. Flood, we met, and I'm very happy to say is they're thinking about being proactive regarding a next event. Hopefully we never have a next event, but the reality is it's possible.
When you say proactive, what do you mean by proactive?
So, unfortunately, since we've gone through a couple of events in the past, we learned a lot, and we have a lot of assets, information, handouts, whatnot. So what we're looking at is kind of doing the tabletop exercise like FEMA, but for the flood committee, if we know an event's going to happen, what are we going to do? How are we going to execute? There's members that went door to door last time to get the word out. So things like that. So basically making sure that all of our assets are ready, making sure that all of our cut sheets or handouts are together so we know where everything is. So God forbid if an event happens or is on the horizon, we can at least inform everybody and do what we have to do.
You have them readily available, correct?
Yeah, we do.
You're going to need them next year.
Next, MAC committee. We were just going over the scheduling of outreach for next year, so they are coming up with that. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Phelan.
Company 1 and Company 2 fire companies met, explained to them about the change in the clothing allowance that may happen. Some of them are not too happy, but as I explained to them, unfortunately it's an IRS rule, and we don't want to do something that's illegal. As you know, the fire company installation dinner is at the castle this year, and hope everybody's going to go.
Do you remember what the date was?
It's in my pocket. Hold it. It's right there. Hold on. Let's open up your thing here, Brian.
I didn't open it up yet.
Hold on. Let's see.
Did the invites go out yet?
I think it's the.
I think it's in your mailbox.
Yeah, hold on. You don't mind.
No, that's okay.
It is. Hold on, please. The letter says the 18th of January at 1800 hours.
1,800 hours.
At 1800 hours.
6 o'clock.
Thanks.
That's it.
Okay, the only thing I have to report is, it's my understanding that there may be a consensus now for the Fair Housing Committee. You all have the list in front of you. I believe candidate number 28 has 4 members of the council that are willing to support that person.
4 or 3?
I think there's 4.
4. Wow, okay.
So, Carol, do we need to take a poll on this, or how do we, are we all in agreement with that?
Yep.
Sounds like 4 people agreeing.
Melissa?
Okay.
Yes? Brian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the official action is at the reorganization.
Right,
Yes.
this is just a straw poll.
For the
but I
back.
don't
That
have
was
a
just,
straw here,
yeah,
so-
we just
Because
didn't
we
know
haven't
where
been
we
able to come to consensus on it, so.
No.
Other than that, I have nothing really to report, other than happy holidays to everyone. Have a safe and merry,
Merry Christmas.
yep, and,
Sing now, Dave?
Happy New Year.
Only if you lead it off.
No.
Next on the agenda again is public comment. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized. Come to the microphone, provide your name and a record address for the record.
Watch for the stampede.
Get out there and do
All right.
control.
Next on the agenda are minutes of approval. We have December 11th, 2018, regular meeting, December 11th, special meeting, and 2017 special meeting.
I abstain from all of those.
I'll make a motion to approve the December 11th, right, what is it, regular and, no, it's just a council
Regular and
meeting.
special?
There was
And
one for the
special.
Board of Health.
Oh, right, okay. I'll make a motion to approve the special meeting and the regular meeting from December 11th, as well as December 17th.
Brian, you want a second?
Second. What was that?
All right, all in favor?
I abstained
Aye.
from one and agreed to the 17th one. I was there.
Okay, all in favor for that?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Next on the agenda, are there any closed session discussions?
No, sir.
Okay. This took long.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
I'll second. There was no,
All in favor?
there was no